Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, that's right. It's time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people. Featuring, as always, the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey. My heterosexual life mate, David.
Hello.
And the ever-loving, forever living in a van down by the river, AJ.
I am Cajun man. I like the onion.
I don't know how to respond to
I
this.
don't either.
You don't remember Cajun man?
No, I definitely do. No character. I
think you were trying to do like a super, like, down by the river. And instead, it sounded more like an old man. I'm down by the river.
That's how what age does for you. To get going.
Yeah. How's it going?
Going.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't figure it out, we are talking
live from the studio.
But recorded.
Sarcastic Distractions Night recorded day.
Yay.
Sometimes they were recorded ahead of time as well.
They were.
Never.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
not all.
never.
Not all of them, but sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They even called that out often. Yeah, we recorded that one ahead
Saturday
of time.
Not Live.
Yeah. That's basically it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you couldn't have it live across the nation. It's impossible to do that.
I thought they did. I thought it did air earlier.
It just airs at different times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still live.
You couldn't have it. I guess what I'm trying to say, you can't have it at 11:35 everywhere across the nation.
Well, no.
Correct.
Impossible.
Whatever channel. That's what.
You can.
Channel
that's how time zones work.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for educating me. So we're talking about Saturday Night Live. I would say one of our favorite shows of all time. At least periods of it.
Favorite sketch comedy, yeah.
Yeah, favorite. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get right into that already.
I'm just saying, like,
you're already bringing it up.
For me, like, it's integral to my existence. Like that 10-year period that I was obsessed with it, or really obsessed with it. Like it's very formulative in my creative process and my humor and comedy.
I have to remember. Don't get me wrong. I do remember high school years. You know, somewhere in that 5-year mark. Yeah, I would watch it frequently, and I remember finding it funny.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And then, got older, got rid of cable, didn't need that anymore. And then I realized in preparation for this podcast, I don't think I've seen it in like 15, 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Like, I can't remember the last time I actually saw Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually sat down to watch one since the Will Ferrell days.
Are you saying I'm the only one that's watched a fully intact episode of Saturday Night Live within like the last 5, 10, 15 years?
Definitely 5 and 10.
Yeah, I've watched clips on the YouTubes.
You guys didn't watch when Elon Musk hosted?
No.
I think I watched.
Oh, wow.
I think I watched the monologue.
Well, no. So
on the interwebs.
In preparation for this lovely discussion, I went to the UBTubes and I went to the SNL website, or on the UBTube, the SNL section, to try and watch. And I saw a link to say, hey, you can watch last night's live or something. I'm like, oh, that's kind of nifty. And I click on it. And I can see a lot of people working on screens. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm assuming there's some sort of just, we have to wait for the show to start.
Yeah.
And then the guy runs on, the guest person, whom I don't remember who him was. And he starts to talk. I'm like, well, where's the normal, they open up. And so I go back.
Cold open.
And then I watch it and I realize, no, what I'm watching is the cold open through their screens. You only get to watch just the intro. And that's it.
Oh.
And I was like, well, that's dumb.
Yeah, that's dumb.
stupid.
That doesn't seem like very entertaining
And then
at
I was like, okay, well, this is okay, fine. I understand. You have to get paid and shit. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go into the SNL section and I'll try to go and watch some recent skits and stuff. Yeah, no, nothing. I couldn't find a single thing.
Yeah, they're weird with how they operate things. They just recently allowed YouTube to show it in other countries.
Oh wow!
Like within the past couple of years, maybe 3 or 4, like you weren't allowed to watch it.
Yeah,
it would just come up saying not available in your country.
Nice. Yeah, because I have to admit, like the discussion of this one, I almost brought it up ahead of time. It's like since I was a teenager, I have not religiously or even frequently watched SNL.
Me, it would be my mid-20s.
Yeah,
I probably stopped watching it religiously.
Yeah, no, I have not at all. It's one of those just things like I remember loving it as a teenager, and I'm also afraid now to actually go back and watch any of the old ones. I have this fear, like, shit, what if my memory is I love this, but what if reality, it sucks, and I was just trying to be a cool kid like all the rest of you.
Well, here's what I would say. You know what never gets old is the weekend updates. Like if you go back and watch any of those, you're probably going to enjoy it immensely.
Well,
I'm going to agree and disagree at the same time.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of it holds up.
Yeah.
Not just weekend updates. So
I think so too. I mean, there are certain eras.
that's your version of agreeing and disagreeing.
yeah, I'm like, I disagree with just the weekend update part, but I agree with the weekend update part because they are still funny as hell and entertaining and whatnot. But I liked all your standard, fun stuffs like your Wayne's Worlds and
Yeah. Wayne's World's great.
Yeah, and like I have good memories of it. I really do. Really good memories of just, being up late, back in the day, and just, but yeah, I don't know. I lost it, and I wasn't able to get into that groove.
Saturday Night Live for me in public school was like a social barometer. I remember, because this was unfortunately back in the 80s and early 90s. We didn't have the internet like we do now. And it was the one show.
Oh,
that
you would talk about it Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah. And that we go through every skit, every musical performance. And I remember my friend Rahel, shout out to her. I don't know if she remembers me or not, but her and I would talk all day, every day about it. In fact, we would get shit from our teachers.
Yeah, it's like the Seinfeld days.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember talking about Seinfeld episodes.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
I remember kids would be coming to school imitating their favorite parts.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what got me into impressions. It's what got me into doing all those little bits.
Nice.
Because, you just mimic what you like. And so many funny characters.
So when did you guys discover that? Like, do you remember when you discovered, hey, this SNL show is pretty?
I think I can't remember the guess, but I remember the first episode. I lost my shit.
Oh yeah,
like
Really?
I think I knew. Yeah. I got to look up the guest, but I know the musical act. I knew bits about it. I would have been 9 or 10, I think, at the time.
Younger than me, I must admit.
And I got excited for the band because I had heard them on the radio, and I'm like, oh wow, they're going to perform on live. And it's not a band you would think that I'd be appreciative of. The band was 10,000 Maniacs.
Does it say Third Eye Blind?
No, this was before they were a thing.
Dishwalla?
No. And because of that, I've been a big fan of Natalie Merchant's ever since, of all things. But I got to look up the guest host because I totally forget.
Yeah. I have to admit, for me, it would be more probably grade 8-ish. Yeah. Doing the door-to-door sales, because I remember talking with somebody in the van about it, and they got me started in it, and I don't remember the exact person. But yeah, it would have been for me more grade 8, so 12, 13 for me.
I remember now. It was Judge Reinhold.
Oh.
That was the guest host. And here's why it was a big deal, because it was a Halloween episode.
Okay.
And so, times is staying up at that, whatever. Maybe I wasn't, I can't remember how old I was. But I remember coming on, and I remember thinking, oh, Dad, you got to let me stay up for this.
I want to go look up when Judge Reinhold was on, and he's going to be 16, 17.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the next thing is, really, were you trick-or-treating at that age?
Come on, Chris.
That's wrong.
But I remember being so excited and laughing my ass off at everything that I saw. And from there, I was hooked. I was hooked at all the skits and fun things and 10,000 Maniacs. And then every Saturday, I would make sure that I would figure out a way to watch it. In some
I do remember watching it. And again, since it was a Saturday, actually I was fortunate because I don't think I ever fought with, and I mean this nicely, Father, the only time I would have to fight for it is when I was visiting my dad. That was the only time. Yeah, with my mom, she didn't give a flying fuck. But yeah, it was never an issue.
It was February 27th, 1988. So I would have been 8 years old.
February 27th, 1988.
Yeah, I think you read that wrong. I'm pretty sure it was 98.
Yeah, that's right.
When you were 18 years old.
Exactly.
I don't know. Was Judge Reinhold wasn't relevant in 98?
Such a big deal in 98. Was
in 88? Yeah.
I was going to say, when was the last Beverly Hills Cop movie that he was a part of?
Beverly Hills Cop 3, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah.
But then from there, it just grew. And I remember, what probably been until 98 that I was really watching it.
High school is when I watched it religiously.
Was he not? He was a cast member for a year, I think, wasn't he?
Wasn't he either in the early 80s crew?
Yeah, I think so.
Or late 70s? Yeah, I feel like he was a part of it. Yeah.
Like a year.
I have no clue. That's one thing I have zero knowledge on is actually, I have recollection of some people being on, I remember them on the episodes, but I've never kept track of who, where, what.
Because I became so obsessed, I ended up going back and watching pretty much all the episodes from 75 on.
Wow. Yeah, no.
And but you can definitely see the eras, right? Like,
well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the waning in
terms of fashion and technology.
No.
And
I meant to say in terms of quality.
You can really see the wow.
But no, in terms of quality, right? You could see like 75 to 80 was kind of like a big deal because no one had seen this type of.
They're figuring out what works. They're throwing shit at the wall. They're
and having George Carlin
sketches,
right? Having George Carlin be their first guest, like it was a big deal because he was that fucking mouthy.
Wasn't SCTV before though?
No, I don't think they were.
I think they were on
about the same
after. Yeah.
Shortly after. Okay.
Like I don't know if SCTV was in the set. I think maybe if it was the 70s, it was like 79.
Late.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking.
Late 70s.
I feel the
and
same.
I have to admit, the only reason I know SCTV, I actually think I watched SCTV before SNL, and why? Because during the summer. Well, no, it was more just during the summer. You know, it would be on the afternoon on a Saturday.
Yeah, they used to show it on YTV, I think.
Oh, I don't even think YTV. I think it was like
guys,
City TV.
You're more right. It was 76.
Oh, so
started so like
now he's even more right. When did SNL start?
Right.
75.
Okay, so I said it's about the same time.
Yeah, so he's more right.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, fuck off. Yeah,
fuck you.
Fuck
you. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
He's right. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Harvey. You piece of shit.
God.
You don't know shit. Anyways, they did
trying to tell me I'm right. What the fuck, man?
Wrong with you?
God, you're an asshole.
But they were raised up at the same time, which is also, I think, Bizarre would have been shortly after SCTV, which was closely connected.
Oh no, that was a different. I was like, wasn't Bizarre with the puppets? But no, that was Spitting Image.
Yeah, no, that was
like
I can't remember his name.
Show.
But Super Dave Osborne. Was
yeah. That's where he developed
Osborne.
Super Dave.
Yeah. And I think that's where we get our Canadian kind of humor from. SCTV.
Oh, Dave Osborne, that was
the best. He was the best. Yeah,
best to you, Dave.
Cheers to him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Super Dave. Fuji
launching that career into his amazing character in Arrested Development. Oh fuck, that guy was a comedy legend.
What comedy legend?
He played the surrogate. He played the dad surrogate. So he would wear like a camera on his head, and he would just repeat everything the dad was saying in prison. It's great. It was great.
Right.
He was
Bob
amazing.
Einstein.
Bob Einstein. Yeah,
it was good.
The best.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess we can trail off a little bit. Because it does kind of pertain to it if you think about there's one connection between the two. SCTV was great.
Oh, it was amazing.
I enjoyed it, and it was very similar, I guess, minus the musical aspect of it. Right?
It was shorter too.
It was shorter, and the one thing I really love that SCTV did, and I think Saturday Night Live could have done, was they made it like a TV channel, so everything kind of flowed in programming wise.
Well, because they had characters that were the head of SCTV.
Right.
I think Joe Flaherty's character with the white hat.
Yep.
Yeah. He had the white suit and the white hat. He was like the boss of the whole fucking shebang.
Cuban boss or whatever. Yeah. So I think if they did something like that, that would have been kind of fun. But SNL's an institution, so.
Well, they certainly are.
Yeah, it was more of a. Ding dong.
That wasn't me.
SCTV was more of a. I'm trying to think. Less of a stage production.
Oh yeah. It wasn't a live thing. It was skits that had been prepped and if you had a shitty job
done.
It wasn't live.
Not rehearse and then live go.
No,
definitely not like that.
And I wouldn't. And that's just it. Like as much as I kind of knock the Saturday Night Live, especially recent, I still give some credit that my understanding, because again, I haven't watched an actual episode in forever, is that it's still relatively live. It's all those things are the same. Yeah.
There's a big difference though. Like I think when we were watching it, we fell in love with characters and the reoccurring characters that come up.
Yeah,
they don't do that anymore. It's definitely much more politically charged. It's much more about the current events of the day that they're kind of poking fun at.
I feel. Yeah, even in they did that. They did do that all the way through. There was always that little air of politics and making fun of the.
Like, would any of us know who Ross Perot was if it wasn't for Saturday Night Live? You know what I mean? Yeah.
No.
I don't think so. Probably not.
No, right? And even in the 70s and 80s, they were still doing. But they were more character driven.
Yeah.
Of a thing. I think maybe even more towards the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. They kind of.
Yeah.
That was where that was really solidified. Was that character?
Yeah.
Reoccurrence of characters in different situations or
Yeah, I think that was the
skit.
golden era of characters. For
Yeah,
sure.
because I mean, you did have like Dan Aykroyd played a few different, like the same character every so often back then, or Belushi did the samurai
and
guy.
Aykroyd did the can't remember the sleazy salesman guy.
Yeah.
Do not ignore the most important thing.
Of course not.
Blues Brothers. Like,
Blues
let's
Brothers. Yeah,
jump
let's
on
be
it.
honest.
Prophylactic.
I always loved the bag of glass. It's like, it's great for your kids. Thinking, take out the glass and put it together like a puzzle, and then you got the bag left over, put it over the head, make a mask. It's $9.99 sells itself. Like, what the fucking crazy. It was the best. Aykroyd is.
But speaking of Blues Brothers, that would have been probably one of the reasons why I went back and started watching. Because my dad got me and was like, "Hey, check this movie out."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, it started on that Saturday Night Live. You like watching that show?" And I was like, "Hey, I'll go check more of that shit out."
Yeah.
In my more recent years, when we had the internet, then I would go and check it out. Yeah, never before, of course.
And
I
had to search it out. See, we didn't really have cable. Like, it wasn't a thing.
I did.
But the first time I ever saw Saturday Night Live or remember seeing it was I won a video cassette. It was like a 25th anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Best of.
All of SNL?
Yeah.
Oh,
kind of
that
thing.
is
So
nice.
it had like a bunch of different like Wayne's World sketches and all the best sketches, I guess. Yeah. That's kind of was my introduction, and then I had to go find more of those.
Gotcha.
But that were from earlier years.
Yeah.
Like the best of 1970s.
I guess that is a good call out. Yeah, you could rent videos,
Right.
go to the Jumbo and you could rent the actual
it was like
videos.
a compilation.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Best of,
so that's kind of where I got my
I don't think I ever did
my
that.
introduction. Or there was like they had the best of specific actors, like the best
players.
of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
So that's where I got introduced to
Gumby.
Gumby. I'm Gumby, damn it.
I'm Gumby.
I'm Gumby, damn it. Or James
Hi,
Brown.
kid.
James
I'm
Brown.
Mr. Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, James Brown Celebrity Hot Tub Party.
So ridiculous.
Buckwheat Sings.
Yeah. And what's funny is, most of those, like, I'm aware of them, but I don't think I ever watched them.
So,
Oh man,
because I went back.
Those are some of the best.
They really are. Like, so, and that's what I was going to say. We were gluttoned with the golden age of characters, but there's always specific characters that shine through during each era, right? Like Gilda Radner, she had some really great characters.
Well, and again, I won't too much diminish it, because without them, SCTV maybe, but even Mad TV.
Yeah.
Like, would Mad TV...
Mad TV was incredibly character driven, though.
It was.
It
was all character driven.
Yeah.
But without Saturday Night Live, would it have existed?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
And it wasn't
that
live,
was Fox's answer to Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got phenomenal comedy actors.
Oh my goodness.
That
Plus the
came out of Mad
claymation.
TV.
I always love the claymation.
Or the
Oh,
Spy
the
versus
claymations were
Spy
so
versus
good.
Spy cartoons.
Yes, they were fucking excellent.
No, I want to watch the Spy versus
I
Spy
know. I
cartoon.
still can watch that.
Oh, I love those, man.
But you're right. And how many people exploded out of that show into stardom?
I could go off naming many.
So many, right?
Like Michael McDonald, Ari Spears, Nicole Sullivan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Does Lois's voice?
Bornstein.
Yeah. Alex
Bornstein.
Bornstein. Yeah.
I couldn't
Stewart.
name anybody.
Can't remember his name. Can't remember the actor's
Michael
name.
McDonald.
Will Salso.
Yeah.
Canadian boy.
Canadian, yeah.
Yeah. It's tons of people that just made it.
All
off
the
that
people
show.
who got rejected by Lorne Michaels.
Yeah. And I don't, that's true. That's pretty much it. I don't think that. I don't think. Mad TV was even on that long. What was it? 7 years?
It was
8
a short
years?
run. Yeah.
It wasn't like.
I truly don't know.
They
It was the
even
right time for me.
They even had
for sure.
They even had a lull too, where it just kind of this isn't
Slumped.
funny anymore. Yeah. But they didn't.
They didn't recover.
Unfortunately, like Saturday Night Live has done, they didn't really recover.
And I hate to say it, I think that is because of Lorne Michaels. I think Lorne Michaels is
he's a genius.
the heartbeat.
Why would you hate
SNL.
to say it though?
Well, I don't.
I'm just
because
curious.
if Mad TV had SNL, if Mad TV had Lorne Michaels, they might, they might have
okay,
survived,
Or if
right?
they had a Lorne Michaels type.
Right. That believed in what they were doing to the point that they're the driver. Like Lorne Michaels to me is like the Vince McMahon of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
You know
just
what I mean?
not a douchebag.
Yeah, not a douchebag.
I had heard, and again, I can't remember where, and it may not be true, just something I made up my mind, but something about when he's done, they may actually do no more Saturday Night Live.
I could see that.
I can see that.
Yeah, because they say the worst years of Saturday Night Live is when he left the show for the 3 or 4 years that he did back in the mid 80s, and they say that was the lowest point of Saturday Night Live. So yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Once he's done, maybe they're done.
I don't remember where I heard or
Yeah.
read that, but it may be totally not true, and I'm making shit up. But if I'm right, I
could
saw
see
the future.
Unless he sees potential in somebody to continue
Take
on,
over.
I'm sure. Yeah, but
I wonder how much of his involvement is there.
oh, he's
still
incredibly
the head.
involved.
Yeah.
I was watching,
Oh,
or
wow.
not
All this gets
watching.
passed through him still. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I was listening to Dana Carvey and David, Dana Carvey and David Spade's Fly on the Wall.
Yeah, they're
podcast.
fun podcast. Yeah, shout out to them.
They did a 2-part with interviewing Lorne Michaels.
Oh, fun! I want to listen to that.
Oh, it was wonderful, and he's very,
task oriented.
Very, let's do this.
Yeah,
very straight.
Everybody's got a Lorne
And
impression.
and that is said in the podcast. Everybody's got a Lorne impression.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Evil's a Lorne Michaels impression.
Yeah, Mark McKinney does the Lorne Michaels impression for the boss in Kids in the Hall. I can't remember.
Yeah, because Lorne Michaels was the producer for Kids in the Hall.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if there were no Saturday Night Live, there'd be no Kids in the Hall.
Yep. Well, no televised.
No
Kids in the Hall.
televised. Yeah, they'd probably still be doing stage skits. in
So
fucking
how Kids in
Toronto.
the Hall started was they were like a punk rock act where they were going
Yeah.
to do comedy shows and blowing up, and then some way somehow Lorne caught wind of
I'm
it.
sure they probably played New York or did Mike
No,
Myers
I don't
say
think they
something,
did.
or-
I think they were. It was all Toronto. I don't think they did much, if at all, in New York until later. But from what I understand, they were trying to figure out how to make a show, and I'm gonna fuck this up. I'm sure CBC was willing to back, but they didn't have the money for it. Lorne got connected with them and found the funny through
Because
funny
he's
through
Canadian.
HBO because he's Canadian, and because he found funding through HBO, and HBO actually funded the first season of Kids in the Hall, I think it was.
really?
Mm-hmm. And then that's how Lorne became the producer.
There's two things I like about this story. One is that actually is quite wow. Like a lot of people, and if all those things hadn't lined up perfectly, there would be no tower.
Right.
And two, you were able to explain all that purely from memory.
Yes,
You
yes.
have some wonderful, interesting things.
Well,
And then later on,
as you, like I said, I'm going to find some use for this useless knowledge.
and then later on, didn't Bruce McCulloch go to write for SNL, and Mark McKinney was on?
And he also wrote.
But that's why they broke up. That's why the Kids in the Hall.
That's
broke
why they
up.
split up
Yeah.
initially, and then they came back after because the season they did not do well,
They
and
didn't,
then they
yeah.
came back. But yes, absolutely, they both were a part of that. In fact, I lost my shit because I didn't know this stuff when I was watching these shows back then, right? And then I see Mark McKinney on SNL. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
What is happening here? It didn't even click in my brain.
That Lorne Michaels.
Right,
That's what the
didn't
key
think
was.
that.
Yeah.
And when I found out Bruce was writing, I'm like, why isn't he acting? Why isn't he in any of the skits? And I think he might have done one or something like that. Maybe.
yeah.
But I couldn't believe the crossover. And it makes sense that they would cross over, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
like the new Kids in the Hall. That one
Yeah.
I
I
wanted
still
to.
need, I still
Fucking
need
loved
to
it.
watch.
Oh,
that.
I
still
recommend.
have
so good.
I recommend. I
Maybe
think it
I'll
was
check
the
it out
first
later.
episode has the best scene. I love
I
it. You
don't
know
wanna
exactly.
know.
I know
I
the
don't
cop
wanna know.
scene. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. But so going back
It's
to
so stupid. It's so good. That's why I'm sorry.
going back to why SNL and SCTV. Don't splooge on my couch, G.
Do you want us to reenact the scene? For
Oh my god.
No, don't do it.
It's
I
fucking
wanna know.
genius. It's genius.
It's genius, and it's just
Oh,
so simple. I love
it's
it.
so simple.
Anyway,
yeah.
sorry, you're trying to make
Anyways,
a point as we're
sorry.
losing ourselves.
Go watch it.
Good SNL characters.
Yes, there's lots of them.
Ed Grimley
Yeah, Ed Grimley's great.
has to do with SCTV.
Yeah,
That's why.
right.
That's
Oh,
why I
that
was drawing
connection,
the
yeah.
connection from
Yeah.
before we lost that train. But yeah, Martin Short,
yeah.
Ed Grimley,
Hell yeah.
good stuff.
Was he? I know
love
he's on
him.
SCTV. I'm drawing a blank though. He was never an official
He was
member
an,
of SNL, was he?
he was an official. Yeah,
He was
it
official,
Steve
okay.
Martin.
Right, that was the guy who was in and out. Bill Murray too. He
No,
was,
Bill Murray was.
oh no, yeah,
was
that's
a
right.
Cast
Sorry,
member.
from
Yep.
75 to
Murray was a
yeah,
cast
that's
member,
right,
but
that's right.
Steve Martin was never a cast
Never,
member.
no.
But he was on lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a lot.
Like
of
just doing bits, not even hosting or anything like that. Like
Well, you think about it, that was like the comedy outlet. So if you're a comedian in any sense of the word, that's your go-to, right? Like you had to go there because how else are you gonna?
yeah,
There's nowhere else to
I guess
perform it.
Johnny Carson.
Yeah,
Stuff
but
like that because Johnny was big on bringing stand-up comedians on.
yeah, which is awesome for stand-up.
that.
But like if you don't fit within that mold, that would work on Johnny Carson's set, SNL's like the next.
I think
best
most
thing.
people who join SNL start in stand up.
I don't.
If you look at the
know about that. I don't.
I'd
know
say
about
most.
That. I don't know about that. I think there's maybe an element, because there's lots of improvers. There's lots of people that break into comedy other ways through writing, and they don't do much of any stand up. So I don't know if your point holds a ton of water.
I think
we might need to research that.
Debate.
Let me tell you something, AJ. When it comes to comedy,
I don't know.
I don't know. No.
Zip it.
No.
Zip it.
Sucker on my zipper.
Do you have a favorite host for the SNL at all?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's
It is a tough one. I have one, but again, it's only actually because I actually have seen him host quite a bit.
Oh, okay. I got
Tom Hanks is always a good time.
Yeah.
He's somebody who's probably hosted one of the most times.
Yeah.
In SNL history.
Yeah, he's in
because they have a 5-timers club or whatever.
Yeah.
5 or more club. There's like Alec Baldwin, him,
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. Yeah.
Christopher Walken. Yeah. That's the one impression I really want to fucking do, and I can't do a good.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken. I can't.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
I should do
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah, you should stop.
It turns into John Travolta real quick.
That's actually a story, though, right? Foo Fighters were doing SNL, and Christopher Walken came up to, I think it was Dave and Taylor or something, and said, "Where's the is the emphasis on the Foo or the Fighters?" And they were both just like, "The Fighters." So that's
Foo Fighters.
Yeah, so he goes out, and that's how he introduces
I would say,
and obviously Dave did it on purpose too, right?
Course,
he's like, I know how he's going to say this, and this is what I'm going to tell him.
Fuck with his cadence, absolutely.
Oh, of course,
absolutely. Which is really great comedic timing for Dave, and very
speaking of
fantastic foreshadow comedy.
Well, right? Speaking of SNL greats too, like anytime Dave has been on, not only has he been a musical guest, he or they have been involved in a bit,
right?
Somehow,
nice.
Like there was at Andy Samberg's Lonely Islands, people getting punched while eating.
That was great.
And it's David Taylor sitting there. He comes and he punches Taylor out right before he goes to take a bite of his French fries, and Dave looks over and steals a fry.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones. Or the punk band wedding.
Yeah,
did you see that one? It was like Fred Armisen, and Dave Grohl, and a couple, and Chris Parnell. I think it was, and it was like punk rock. There was an old punk rock band, and they got back together for this dude's wedding, and then they just trashed the fucking place. Like,
it starts off
tables and
super
shit.
Pristine and clean, and it's a very traditional wedding, and then it just turns into fucking absolute madness.
Nice.
Fucking great.
But favorite host, I don't know.
I have mine.
I have
a lot.
It's a tie between three.
I don't think I can, because there have been some really great hosts and some just trash.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
This girl can sing in any fucking style she wants. Like,
well, she grew up on TV shows, didn't she?
That's true too.
Yeah, but like the skit that they did was Pandora Goes Down. Like the music service Pandora goes down.
Okay.
And everybody's starting to panic. Like, how are we going to get these? People are asking for this song, and Ariana Grande plays an intern. She's like, I could sing it. Right? She's this timid little thing, and then she like does all the imitations like Britney Spears, Celine Dion. It's like, holy crap!
Yeah,
this girl can fucking.
She's good.
She just did a thing with somebody else. It was I think it was for Halloween. They reshot scenes from Best in Show.
Oh, nice.
Where they're playing like different characters. Like Ariana Grande gets all made up like Eugene Levy and does his parts. And then her friend does Catherine O'Hara.
I love it.
It's fucking brilliant.
Oh my
It's like this little pop star. You're like, you wouldn't expect her to actually have that kind of chemistry for
or that
comedy, that
understanding.
Yeah, right. You just wouldn't like. I mean, I'm sure Taylor Swift's hosted before, and she's just.
Yeah, we're not talking about her.
She's just annoying.
Well, I mean, I don't.
Right? She doesn't.
I remember
it's
watching one of her
awkward.
episodes, but I don't remember.
It just
any
seems,
of the skits.
It's exact. Well, there you go.
That to me
seems almost more awkward, though. It's more forced.
Yeah,
like,
to me, a good.
You can tell
host,
when somebody's. trying to act.
Well, that's it. To
Or
me, a
acting.
host is somebody who wants to be a part of what's going on rather than being the center of attention. I think Elon Musk did a great episode because he was trying his best to just be the show and not be the focal point.
That's true.
Yeah, but for me, three hosts come to mind. Definitely Walken, of course,
Because you get the cowbell sketch.
Oh my god,
One of the most
best sketches ever.
iconic sketches.
That is true.
But not just that though. Like I can't think of a bad sketch with Walken in it. I can't think of a single one. The
doesn't he do
Continental,
the Continental, where he's
champagne.
right, it's a sleazy
Look, come on
fucking.
in, go there.
Yeah.
Like everything he does is fucking comedic gold on that show, and that's why I love them. Another guy, Justin Timberlake. Like
Yes.
You know what?
Honestly-
that is one of the places where I garnered much more respect for him as an entertainer.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't a
Absolutely.
huge fan of his NSYNC thing.
yeah,
that
well,
he
it
did.
wasn't music made for us, so
Dick in a box though.
Dick in a box.
But as soon as he started
Mother
doing
Lover.
shit like Dick in a Box, Mother Lover, or him and Jimmy Fallon are the competing mascots.
oh yeah,
for,
the banana
for different.
tacos, yeah.
Or there's Come On Down, Lick It Town. Yeah, those are freaking. And yeah, that's where I definitely garnered more respect for him as not just a singer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
as somebody who could entertain and be funny and
Definitely skill.
natural
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, for sure. And who else? You had three?
Yeah, and then I always kind of harken back to old cast members that host.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Dan Aykroyd would
Yeah.
probably be on
Oh,
my
nice.
list there too.
Yeah.
And also
Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd probably hosted my all-time favorite episode ever.
With the hip.
You got it.
Oh.
The only time the hip had been on the Saturday Night Live,
I could
and that
see
was
him bringing them on.
all. It was all because of Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, of
he
course.
pushed and
all
pushed.
because of him.
Yeah.
And
He's
like,
very, very, very adamant about promoting musicians and
Yep.
getting them into different
yep,
different avenues or different venues or different places
Absolutely.
that they've haven't been able to.
Get into.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
and this
For
was
sure.
a time when they were promoting Day for Night, that album, which is also the time when Nirvana was
Mm-hmm.
exploding the whole
Oh, yeah.
thing. So they were slotted in perfectly right into that kind of alternative sound. It was just awesome. It was just
And I
great.
think they went out and they did some crunchier tunes too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They do. They probably. I think they did New Orleans.
They
not?
did New Orleans
and something else.
Yeah, they did Grace too. I think.
Okay.
I think it was.
Yeah,
the
they did
tune
a little more.
Yeah, a little bit more
Yeah, good
grungier,
stuff,
sort
yeah.
of gritty sounds. Yeah, which is great. And I mean, seeing the Tragically Hip on Saturday Night Live was just a dream come fucking
It's
true.
a big deal.
It's a big deal
for
you know?
a Canadian.
Hell yeah.
For a band that didn't even necessarily break out in the States either, right?
They
Like,
never did. No.
I'm sure
Certain pockets.
cult type followings
Sure.
and whatnot.
You'll find
but
him you'll find pockets in Michigan. You'll find pockets
Closer
in
to
like,
our borders,
Ohio
yeah.
and shit. Yeah, but you won't. You might find some outskirts on the coast somewhere, but for the most part, it's
Minnesota.
They're our band, right? Minnesota. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Minnesota.
Minnesota loves the hip, eh?
Oh, we love
Oh
it.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So good.
Oh, so good, don't you know?
Don't you know? Those boys
Oh,
make
yeah,
really good music.
But maybe they should stop by for potato salad.
We kind of little Kool-Aid for them, don't you know?
Don't you know? Cheery. We got cheery
got
Kool-Aid,
cheery
don't you
Kool-Aid.
know?
I haven't had a Kool-Aid in forever.
I know. You know what? Okay. Speaking of, I was. You guys know the comedian Bert Kreischer. He does
Yeah.
his comedy without a shirt on.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, okay.
He's always
The
got
machine.
Kool-Aid on him. He's got like this obsession with Kool-Aid. I didn't even think about Kool-Aid. When was the last time I thought? I don't even remember when.
Well, you can't even buy it in the same way. You can only get the droppers now.
Oh.
If you go to convenience stores, you can get it in the powdered package.
Can you still?
Are they
Okay.
from like 1982? Like,
No,
okay.
man.
Fuck, I don't care. I would
Well, it's
still
'cause
just for old school.
People in convenience stores, they go to the States and get shit. Or
Oh, you know
they
what?
have
That's a good
different
call.
distributors.
Yeah, because
that'll-
it's the sugary bad for you.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Right.
Or,
Well,
well, you add the sugar.
What is Kool-Aid? It's the stuff and then a pound of sugar. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's really what
I
it
always
is.
remember
I'm
that.
trying I'm trying to think of who other hosts I liked.
For me, it was Goodman.
Oh yes,
I always loved
He
it
was
too.
always good, yeah.
And the reason I loved him is he always get up there saying like, "Everybody knows why I'm here. Somebody's canceled." And I always loved it because I don't ever recall seeing him without an entry of, "Yep, somebody canceled. I
Yeah.
won't say who."
He was
And then he would
always
name
brought
a
in.
lyric of a song or
Yeah.
mention something that would help associate you to the person,
Yeah.
but never say the name.
Yeah. No, he was such class, and it's amazing he was never a part of the cast. either. Like
well, he had the Roseanne days.
Yeah, I know.
and
he
then-
was.
I just could see like he would have slotted in so nicely with almost any era of cast
Oh, I
member
think
at that
so.
point.
And I
You know
think-
what I mean?
Yeah.
If you think behind the scenes, that would have been probably one of the reasons why him and Aykroyd did Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a good
Because
call out.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
had
there
chatted
was some
and
sort of-
spoken.
Yeah.
Some bond in there somewhere.
Some
right?
connection.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
thought of that
Um,
connection. Good
Huh.
call.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was always my favorite just because I always got that impression of like he came in and he would play the card of, yep, I am out of the blue, but he'd still make me laugh, still have a good time. And
Yeah.
he looked like he was having fun with it
Yeah.
all the time. I loved it.
I love yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. I haven't thought about him hosting in a long time.
Yeah, but
really
I don't think
love
he's, well, again, I haven't watched it in
Yeah. Who knows?
about 15, 20 years.
Man, I feel like I have to like whip out my phone here and go through.
Oh, God, we'd be here all night.
40 plus years of
Well,
fucking
I was thinking maybe focusing on the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sure.
But
yeah.
yeah, no, I have to admit, he was my favorite just because
Because
that time.
there's a lot of hosts like from the 70s and stuff like that. I probably didn't.
Appreciate.
Yeah,
Click with,
because to me they're not like a special guest star. The ones I'm more intrigued in are the ones that are, I guess, at that point were into their celebrity.
Right.
Your Bill Murray, your Dan Aykroyd, Eddie
Mm-hmm.
Murphy, all those people's. Even Steve Martin, though he wasn't a cast member.
Sure.
King,
But he has hosted.
King
so.
Tut, like
Yeah,
come on,
King Tut.
one of the
yeah.
greatest fucking comic songs
Sure.
ever. But
Oh fuck, Andy Kaufman. Oh fuck.
yeah,
I love
there was the
Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman.
Oh, I loved watching him on Saturday Night Live. It was so much fun because he was the wild man.
hmm
He was the guy you couldn't count on, other than to be ridiculous and insane.
Yeah, he was the one that would every so often would just go and do and say things that are completely wrong. Isn't he? Was he the same one that was on the radio show? He was a cast member of the.
He was on Taxi. Did the show Taxi?
Yeah, he was on.
I'm trying to think of the radio show you're talking about.
Don't matter.
I don't know matter, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
I loved him.
Lyric
And,
radio or something. Fuck.
Oh,
News Radio?
No, you're thinking of Phil Hartman.
You Phil Hartman.
No, Phil Hartman's the one that unfortunately was killed.
Yeah, by
his wife.
Yeah. Good guy.
But no,
Yeah,
Phil.
amazing.
Oh, man,
The best.
Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
Speaking
I,
of fucking great cast members, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing he did was not funny.
One
Like,
of the
everything.
most phenomenal cast members.
Frankenstein. So stupid. So dumb. I love it.
Or
so.
he always did the commercial parodies.
Yes.
He was always like the dad or the guy selling you
Yeah.
the product or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I love him.
My favorite was Colon Blow,
Call him.
the cereal.
Wow.
I was like, how much fiber does your cereal have? One bowl of Colon Blow equals 10,000 bowls of fucking Raisin Bran or whatever.
So good. So good. Yeah. Phil
Yeah.
Hartman. I miss him so much.
Oh man,
And I mean, obviously Chris Farley, like the legend.
It's almost like there's a curse.
Seems to
Right?
be. Yeah.
It's kind of like an SNL curse, right?
Well-
Jim Belushi.
Yeah, I wanted to. Oh, it was a dream job of mine to work for Saturday Night Live. I thought that would be the best gig ever to be able to be on that show. And I remember you and I, way long time ago, were watching some documentary on Saturday Night Live. I think we were hungover one night. We were at your place. This is when you lived in that one townhouse.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and they were going through just how cutthroat it really is in that.
Oh,
world.
because they would sit in the writer's room. You had
Yes.
like Monday
yes,
by Tuesday.
and
they
everybody's
picked.
like, my ID. If I can get my ID in there better, then
Yeah.
we'll win out
Yeah,
the sketch.
Yeah,
And you realize, holy fuck, like it's not that doesn't sound fun. That sounds like horrible. Like you're trying to write
or in
comedy.
sketches getting cut. And,
Yep.
Yeah.
last minute cut.
Yeah. And then the
stuff like that.
favoritism and all that sort of
Yeah.
shit. And it's like, oh, maybe I don't want to do that. as a
I could
job.
never do that.
I don't
job.
think,
Fuck
you
no.
know, I
Even
think-
if I had the skill, I couldn't do.
It's hard. And you know what's funny? People will do like, well, they party at the end of the week. I'm like, I think they have to. Like you fucking work for
Right.
like
If
20
you're
hours.
young.
Yeah.
and
Because I know what
yeah.
I'd be doing.
I'll go to bed now. Yeah.
having said that, it seems like whenever the cast member themselves is they're the popular ones are the ones that always get that attention.
Yeah.
Right? It's
sure.
And then you have the ones that fade into the background and unfortunately become almost obscure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite characters?
I mean, Matt Foley up there.
Let's
for
go through
sure.
let's go through all this silliness now.
Not even question. Matt Foley's up there. Wayne's World. Those are fucking amazing.
I can almost say we're not going to disagree on much.
No, I don't
right?
think so. I'm trying to think of some other ones that I really love.
I like the silly ones that Adam Sandler would do on the Weekend Update all the time, like Cajun Man, or Opera Man.
He's one trick pony, this guy.
Yes, but no, that's the funny part.
Yeah, Lunch Lady was great. Yeah, I mean, so many great characters. The Saturday Night Live character. Oh, fucking Stefan, which is a newer character.
Oh,
holy shit!
That's got to be. That's where I kind of fell off, and I'm not saying because of I love Stefan's character, but that was the cast member era.
They started to back off.
I started to because you had what was his name? You just said his fucking name. The actor who did Stefan.
I'm gonna tell you now.
No, you're not. Because you're a dickhole.
I said Bill Hader.
Bill Hader. That was it. I'm thinking Will Forte. No, Will Forte.
That's the wrong Bill.
That's the wrong guy. Bill Hader. Yeah. Him or Will Ferrell, Sherry O'Terry.
Yeah. Spartan cheerleaders.
Yeah. Spartans.
Those
right?
guys are
Because
amazing.
those again, the characters are the ones that are standing out, and then everything else was just kind of.
Yeah. It takes very special actors to do that. And I mean, we haven't even talked about Will Ferrell. Like that fucking juggernaut being in Saturday Night Live.
Just ridiculous.
Holy shit.
Some of the shit that he did was just great.
Yeah, I don't remember watching Will Ferrell
you
Saturday
need to
Night
see
Live.
you need to see one where he goes into the office because it's casual Friday and he's wearing a an American flag bikini bottom with this stuff spilling out either side.
Yeah, I have not seen
it's
that.
It's fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable that they allowed it.
Or who was it? Was it him again? Him and Sherry O'Terry, or it was one of the other ladies who's incredibly funny. They do the lover.
Oh, the lovers. Yeah,
and they always bring
him and Rachel
over
Dratch.
Rachel Dratch, that's who it was.
Yeah.
They always bring over like another couple, and it's usually like the host, the guest host, and somebody else. And they're just like a regular, vanilla
Hello.
kind of couple, and then they're just like the most awkward fucking. You can just like if you were in that situation, you would feel so awkward.
And
it's hilarious.
And it always degenerated with the two of them bitching at each other, breaking down the facade that they've created. It's fucking great. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Will Ferrell.
Just chews up the scenery, but in the best way, right? Like the ham that man delivers.
It's hard for me to not.
But it's not campy.
No,
it's not corny.
Yeah.
It's so perfect for.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it in those days. What time frame was that?
2000.
Yeah, I would say like late 90s, 2000s.
Very late 90s,
sure.
98, 99.
Yeah.
After your Dana Carvey, your Mike Myers,
exiting out.
David Spade.
Yeah.
Like our era, right? Like Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I
Chris
feel
Rock.
like their debut years were like 96, but they didn't really start picking up.
They weren't your main
until like 98, 99.
Okay.
When all the other ones started to.
When they started.
Yeah, because by the time I was in college, I didn't watch anymore.
Yeah. Well, I had no life, so I still watched it.
I think for me it was bits and pieces.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was stuff that I could find on interwebs and stuff like that.
Yeah, we did have the interwebs in those days.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
It was a little slow, but
very slow.
we had it.
So I wasn't watching.
You were just reading.
I was reading the synopsis of.
Like, oh, that would have been a funny sketch. Ha ha ha! He walked in the room, slipped on banana peel. Ha ha ha! So funny.
But I think even when in our Saturday Night Live prime, certain characters that maybe even never made a recurrence were still Sean. I think because of the actor. Like I always think Massive Head Wound Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Like I love that fucking sketch, and Dana Carvey is perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Did he do a bad sketch? I can't think of anything that he was in that I didn't like or love.
You probably just blocked it from your memory.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
Come on, we're all human. Even Dana Carvey.
Like
I remember the bamboo heart. Did you guys remember that? Yeah, it's a transplant. You got a baboon heart transplant.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, blood everywhere. I'm like, oh, fucking, I'm sorry. I love that.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Church lady.
Dieter.
Yeah, Molly Shannon, for fuck's sakes.
Dita,
yeah.
Dita.
Oh my God, we didn't talk about
sprockets.
Yeah, the sprockets.
Dita.
Yeah.
Would you like to touch my monkey?
Exactly. Or the pump you up guys.
Oh, Hans and Franz.
Hans and Franz. Yeah.
Who's that? Kevin Nealon.
Yeah.
And
speaking of, I would say it's him and Norm Macdonald were probably my two favorite hosts of Weekend Update. I think
I have a hard time picking up until that point. Chevy Chase was brilliant. Dennis Miller. Fuck. I always loved it. I think it's his smarmy, sarcastic wit that made the headlines a little more tolerable. Like you could be like, yeah, you're right.
Well, I definitely
you're an asshole and it's funny.
When I was watching at that time, especially when I was fucking 8 or 9, I did not get any of the news shit at all. I just was like, oh, that must be funny. And then when I went back to rewatch, I'm like, oh, that's why that's funny.
Yeah,
it's like,
but Kevin Nealon too, like both him and Dennis Miller are the ones that stick in my mind the most because they were in that same era of late 80s, early 90s.
For sure.
Kind of time.
Yeah.
Time frame. But then after that, I don't know. I've seen some of Colin Jost and Michael Che's banter and back and forth, and
they're great. They're funny.
I think my favorite bits are when they do the thing where they both write jokes for each other, but neither of them have seen the jokes, so they're seeing them for the first time.
Oh, really?
And most of the time
they're
laughing. Making each other say racist shit
because one's white, one's black. So
like the white guy's always saying, negative things about like black people or Michael Che is his co-host there, right? It's like, he made you say that. And it's
how many times does he try to get him to say the N-word? Like, it's ridiculous. It's insane.
Yeah, so that's a good, cool, actually kind of cool recurring bit that they seem to do that more now than they did with Kevin Nealon and Dennis Miller, I guess, until kind of later.
Yeah.
Dennis Miller he was more straight news.
Yeah.
News.
Quote unquote news.
And then Kevin Nealon I think it was around the end of that is when they started bringing in Adam Sandler to do
getting really silly.
His Cajun Man and his Opera Man, gives us a report of this movie.
Whatever it might be. Yeah.
And now it seems like almost a staple.
Yeah.
That's where Stefan, got popular, did his thing kind of thing, right? That's where he was part of that. And it seems like, it's more of a staple to have them bring on like a funny character guest or somebody who's impersonating another.
I think we can, like the streamlining of it, I think we can thank Tina Fey because at that time.
I forgot about Tina Fey being a Weekend Update.
She was also the head writer for Saturday Night Live for a lot of years.
Well, that's what 30 Rock's
about. That's pretty much 30 Rock, right? And her and Amy Poehler being the first female anchors for that and whatever, they started to get a little bit crazier.
I forgot about Amy Poehler too.
Yeah.
I
pretty much the entire cast of Parks and Rec. No,
being a Weekend Update host. I remember some of her
the little girl wreck
or Sweater Weather. Maya Rudolph. A lot of very funny women come from Saturday Night Live, and that's
funny and they're smart. Sorry, good.
And they're good drivers.
That's a South Park reference. If you couldn't figure that out,
But it seems like I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm realizing it now because stand-up comedy, it's few and far between of the ladies that are getting attention, whereas in sketch comedy, a lot of women were picked out of that to kind of go a little further than just stand-up comedy.
And you were coming out of gates pretty hot. There's a lot of really great female comedy artists. I don't want to call them sketch artists. Gilda Radner, obviously, Julie Louis-Dreyfus,
Catherine
O'Hara, right? Like all these amazing women comedians.
Oh, Jane Curtin.
Fuck Jane Curtin. Holy shit. Yeah.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
And that was all from, 75, on. So they've kind of had that tradition. And then, they just got better and better.
Yeah.
And funnier and funnier as time went on.
For sure.
And lots of,
Or the radio host, who was that again? I think it was it Amy Poehler and it was another lady?
Nora Dunn.
Nora Dunn and where they had
it was Molly Shannon. It was Molly Shannon. Yeah, Nora Dunn. Yeah. Okay.
Sweaty balls.
All right, we're gonna make our sweaty chocolate ball recipe.
Okay.
for everyone.
I like when I have your balls in my mouth.
I love when they're in your
very
mouth.
nice.
Yes, I
I
love
do
when
know
they
you
melt
like that.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's so.
I have to
funny.
admit,
That's
through all
funny.
everybody you've just discussed, I realized, you know what? I thought I watched a lot. I don't think I did. I apparently
watched
It was my Bible
lot,
show. Yeah,
apparently,
like
yeah.
I apparently
really watched a lot.
Yeah, no, I know none of this.
I know at one point in my life I had seen every episode up until
That point.
that point. Like
Up until
from
that
like
point.
I think 97. I think I'd seen every episode at least once, maybe more.
I have not.
Yeah, I just loved it.
Yeah.
Sketch comedy.
I
was
watched it for maybe
It's
that
for
4 or 5 years, and then I never really watched it again.
Yeah.
For sketch comedy, that was definitely. And again, don't be wrong, we've talked about it before. Like Kids in the Hall,
Yeah.
phenomenal show,
Gateway. Yeah.
phenomenal characters and everything. I would say, yeah, SNL was my gateway
Yeah.
to Kids in the Hall or to other sketch comedy shows. And then I think about I hear about other sketch comedy groups and stuff like the Groundlings. I really wish
Sure.
those people had made television, because when you know who came from the Groundlings, I want to see them on stage doing improv comedy or sketch comedy of some sort. Like I would love to see Thomas Lennon and Steve Carell in a scene together.
Sure. Yeah.
That would be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, technically speaking, the Groundlings has been an ever-changing group. I think they're still going
So
on.
is Second City.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think sometimes they've just plucked entire casts from those eras to put into sketch.
Good point. Like
I
Reno
think-
911
Yeah,
would
yeah,
probably
pretty much all
I would
Groundlings.
assume every one of
I
those
assume.
people, and they're all phenomenal.
That
comedic
show
fucking-
is one of the
It's
best
perfect.
shows.
It's
fucking
perfect.
ever. Does
for
it
a
get
comedy
better?
show. Perfect.
I can't think of it. Like,
No.
I never get sick of it. Have you seen Reno 911?
I think so.
Oh, it's like
a fake cop show.
Yeah.
it's like watching
yeah.
Cops, but better.
But way better.
But way better. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think most people, if not all people, came from that comedy troupe. The
Yeah.
Groundlings. Yeah, for sure. Even the cameo people like Nick Swartzen,
Nick Swartzen.
or the guy who plays, I don't know who he is, but the guy who plays Trudy's
Yeah.
love interest, the sadomasochist
fucking
psycho killer.
Yeah.
And he's got the talks like this.
Yeah.
He talks like this. It's so funny.
Well, and
Okay, that's a good point, though. That's I see what you're saying, because
not
Mad
ready
TV,
for
I think a lot of Mad TV people came from that.
definitely,
too,
and I
right?
think the ready for primetime players was the comedy troupe. I think that was them, and they
originally,
yeah.
Saturday Night Live featuring the
Yeah.
not ready for primetime players.
yeah, I think
that
they
was
were like an actual troupe
right.
that they pulled
tried
out.
to,
Yeah, and then
start
eventually
for-
things start to
and then they were
Brian
just
pulling
the
other
cast
people.
of Saturday Night Live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
And if you think about it, shows like Reno 911, I would even maybe say Curb Your Enthusiasm, anything with kind of that improvised nature probably couldn't exist without a Saturday Night Live or Kids in the Hall or SCTV, because those were the trailblazers, for those.
Not
types of
necessarily
shows to
improvised, though.
Yeah, because they always had the late night talk shows throughout the week and all that, even before Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, but those were scripted, right? To a degree, I think.
Oh, well, you knew maybe he was coming on in some prep, but that's just like.
We're talking about like Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scripted to a degree.
Yeah.
Like even now they're scripted to a degree, but they're like, producer will send the questions to the manager or whatever.
They go
and
over the
then
quick
they'll
overview,
get-
and then they.
Yeah,
but
they
you
have
never
a
really
style.
know what's gonna.
Yeah, you don't know how the person
Unless
who
you're
asked these
Conan.
questions respond.
But I'm thinking
and-
more improv, as in like, whose line?
Right.
I'd say that's
Okay, that's fair.
improv.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Right.
that wasn't a thing until the
Later.
80s.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
late
glad-
80s, early 90s.
I don't remember
We're-
until the
We're
90s.
both on the same page with the British one.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
With Clive, whatever
Yep.
the fuck his name was the host.
Yep.
But you
Yep.
still had Ryan Stiles
Yep.
and great
Colin
groups
Mockery
and Colin Mockery.
Yeah. And then it came over here and then was
Yeah.
westernized and whatnot.
And then Drew Carey got a hold of
Sure.
it. And
yeah, it's fine. It's what it was. But I think that was.
it is and it isn't.
yeah. I mean, I would have liked.
prefer what's her name now, Aisha Tyler.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
I prefer way more than Drew Carey.
I would.
Drew
Yeah.
Carey's.
Is it even on? Is Whose Line on?
I think so.
Yeah. But there's a great point. Could Whose Line is in any way be what it was? And it was explosive for a while there, and then had a resurgence without the show we're talking about, Saturday Night Live and stuff.
I
Would
want to
that
say
exist?
yes, because Britain had their own thing going on.
Oh yeah, that's true. The Monty Pythons.
Britain had their Monty Pythons, and even though Monty Python wasn't a stage act necessarily, I know they have done. They have done, but no, they had going into set pieces, and like there was more location shootings than there was on a soundstage,
right? Like you
have with SNL,
right?
You've got 3 parts of a set.
In that SNL, way, it was more like Kids in the Hall. Right, because Kids in the Hall was pretty much mainly location shooting. Kids in the Hall, I would say, are your Canadian Monty Python. Hell yeah, for sure.
100%.
For sure.
It's
absolutely.
Much less like Saturday Night Live than it's akin to Monty Python.
I love when they say Kids in the Hall is punk rock, because it was, and it still is to a degree. It's not, it doesn't follow the norm of any other. It doesn't
conform to your regular sketch comedy.
Yeah.
Regular sketch comedy. Even, quote unquote. Even SCTV was more like SNL,
absolutely,
than it was, say, let's compare it to Monty Python.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you did have, I think, a few more location shooting, skits.
Yep.
Then again, you do SNL.
Mm-hmm.
At least back when we were kids, and back like nowadays, it's a little different, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say
It would have been nice to see a couch off between Wayne and Garth and Bob and Doug. That would have been amazing.
Oh, for sure.
That would have been fucking something else.
That's actually a good point.
That would have been very nice. Yeah.
I never thought of that. If there was no Bob and Doug, there probably would be no Wayne and Garth.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Because there might be a Wayne because that was Mike Myers was doing that when he was on Canadian cable show. He was doing Wayne from Scarborough,
right,
kind of thing. Right. He was doing the metalhead from Scarborough reviews things or some shit.
Right.
And then he took that to SNL.
And then transformed it into.
But if there was no Bob and Doug doing the Bob and Doug McKenzie show, I don't think there would have been a Wayne's World sketch. I think maybe there would have been a Wayne character.
Yeah.
But not in that same Bob and Doug way.
For sure.
Right? Where he had a partner to play off of, or it probably would have just been when Wayne, this character Wayne works at the Gap.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah.
Shit.
Garth
Which probably kind of would have been funny. A character like Wayne working in a not so conventional Wayne type job.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was good times. Yeah, I think that would have been fun to see those two. I was just thinking of one sketch, speaking of working at the Gap, with Chris Farley, David Spade, and Adam Sandler all playing female workers.
Yeah, they're all in drag.
Yeah, the drag. Hilarious. So good.
Yeah, that's funny. I remember that one. They're ripping on the customers and shit.
Yeah. Hilarious. Or the bye-bye now.
I was about to say the steward, the air flight attendants. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay, take care now. Bye-bye then. Bye-bye now.
So silly. This is, it was just a fun show.
It was, It was,
clearly love sketch comedy. That's something that
I think that's my kind of comedy is slapstick, sketch, goofy.
Yeah.
It's not, and that I get that from all of these sketch comedy
for
shows,
sure.
Right? Like there's different kinds of comedy. I think that's, again, why I don't resonate with other shows. Like, I've seen Curb Your Enthusiasm. I get the idea behind Curb Your Enthusiasm. I think it's a cool idea to have a show that's largely improvised. But I think it's the content, the topics that, like, I don't know. I'm just, again, I wasn't a fan of Seinfeld either. I'm not a fan of shows of people complaining about shit.
Okay. Curb is so great. Larry David is a fucking mastermind. That guy just knows some shit. I get it though. It's not for everybody.
But it's kind of a dude just kind of bitching about life all the time.
Nah, it's really not. What makes that show great is the awkwardness. Like, that show is the king of awkward comedy, and that's the beauty of it. Yes, Larry's driving vehicle is the complaining piece. He's not happy with the world. He's an old curmudgeon-y asshole. Mm-hmm. But the joke is on him. Right. The joke is he gets into these awkward, fucked up situations that he shouldn't be a part of. And you, as the viewer, are just seeing the cringe pile on top of each other. And he's just this fucking giant asshole idiot that can't get out of it. And that's the comedy of it. And every episode they do that.
I feel like I've seen this show before, but not Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I've always tried to think
I feel like this formula has been done before.
Yeah, I've tried to think of what Curb reminds me of, and I just can't.
Then you know what I'm. It's one of those. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like this joke's been done before.
Yeah. I can't remember what. You're right. There's something to it, but the way it's not like it's like Seinfeld in the sense that it's people living their lives like just daily living, but it's not like Seinfeld.
But it's celebrity. It's mostly celebrity. Like that's who he's interacting with a lot of the time, right?
No, not necessarily. Usually it's for the joke. If it's a celebrity for the joke, then it is. But they have regular characters that are celebrities, but they're just acting whatever. But like, I mean, they bring in Ted Danson for a really funny fucking gag, and he dates his ex-wife. So there's like little bits that they do, but it's not just hey, you're a celebrity, come on in. And the fact that they largely improvise the whole thing, I think makes it that much more fun, because
that fascinates me.
Yeah,
that's cool.
The dialogue is always going to be different, very organic.
Was Arrested Development not largely improvised as well? Or was
I
there
don't
more,
know. That's Greg Daniels.
Was there more scripting?
I think there's more scripting.
Is that a Greg Daniels?
Yeah. Pretty sure. I'm gonna go look that up real quick.
I know it was Ron Howard and his producing partner that produced it.
Yeah.
And like kind of created the show. But
yeah, they really.
Because Greg Daniels was the guy who did The Office.
Oh, sorry, Mitch Hurwitz. My apologies. My apologies. Okay. Yes, you're right.
Because Greg Daniels did The Office.
Yep.
I believe
and
Parks and Rec and The Good Place.
Yep, that's his too.
He did that. Yeah. Michael Schur was involved in.
But I'm pretty sure Mitch Hurwitz. I'm pretty sure Arrested Development is largely scripted. But I mean, they had such great comedic talent. I'm sure they went off script all the fucking time, all the time. Like with Bob Einstein, I said, "How the hell?"
Or Cross.
David Cross. I just blew myself. Just fucking lines like. So
or anus tart.
Anus tart.
Can you even write half of this shit? Like, seriously.
Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's so stupid. It's so great.
Blah, blah, blah.
So great. So many great things. Arrested Development.
But
by far one of the funniest shows ever.
But that's not sketch comedy.
That's not sketch comedy.
was Will Arnett? Will Arnett was on Saturday Night Live, wasn't he?
Maybe as a host. I don't think he was there as
he was
a cast
never
member.
A cast member,
not as far as I know. He maybe wrote for them, but I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I want him to be.
I know.
Will Forte was, though.
Will Forte definitely
was. Will Forte's
best. My favorite role he ever did was not a Saturday Night Live thing, although he did lots of really great things at Saturday Night Live, was he does his role in Slam and Salmon. You guys ever seen that movie?
Oh, I love Slam and Salmon.
Slam and Salmon.
I completely forgot about that for 5 minutes until because Nikki and I were watching Super Troopers.
Oh
the other day, and I
was
like, oh man, I want to watch Beer Fest now.
Yeah, great.
But Club Dread's really good too. Yeah. And I completely forgot that Slam and Salmon fell under the Broken Lizard.
It's definitely one of the
umbrella.
For whatever reason, it's on the lower end of the totem pole in terms of popularity. But the Will Forte role is he basically it's Slam and Salmon. Dave, if you haven't seen it, it's basically
Dave. Would you like to talk?
Yeah, no. I have zero clue about everything that's been spoken about for the last 20 minutes.
I'll quickly.
I know. I feel bad.
I know. I do, but I also don't.
Well, I mean, I've been in this position before that's too. True, I mean, Chris doesn't know what it's like. Maybe we'll figure out a topic where he won't talk one day.
Good fucking luck. Kids, you probably got me a kid. Yeah, that's probably the one thing.
But no, please explain Slam and Salmon because it's needed to be
It's
heard.
just a very fun movie with Broken Lizard, which are a comedy troupe themselves, and they do improv and things like that as well. They basically are the stars or these waiters in this high class restaurant, and it's kind of like the movie Waiting, but a little bit more out there.
I think
I could see
slapstick versus.
I could see the arguments on both sides.
Waiting was better good, too. Though.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds kind of
fantastic in that. Yeah. Justin Long was, anyways. So the whole scene is Will Forte plays this author who's apparently famous. You don't know that when he's writing it, and he's a reader. He
was just sitting there trying to read his book.
War and Peace.
All he wanted to do was read his book.
Just trying to read War and Peace, and then
all this chaos is going on.
He's just sitting there trying to get help and not getting help, and then finally, one of the characters helps him, and he basically tells him that he's this like rich.
He's like a millionaire
benefactor, and it's like he's basically going to give this guy some money or something like that, whatever. And then the end bit is he gets hit by a fucking bus.
He walks out of the restaurant and gets hit by a bus.
He's killed. He gives a giant monologue about how great of a guy he is and can leave this tip and stuff. Then he dies. It's just like that. It's like, that's fucking amazing.
And Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh my
God.
God.
That has to be one of the best performances I've ever seen this guy.
Yeah,
and he was in the fucking Green Mile.
Absolutely. That line I use almost daily. If Sim Butts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. That line is apt pro for anything in life. Right?
My favorite, meat drapes.
Meat drapes.
It's pronounced Madropides. It looks like meat drapes.
It's a great movie. If you not see Slam and Salmon.
You want me to punch you?
He won't punch you. He plays an Xboxer.
An Xboxer who owns the restaurant. You got to see it.
You got to see it.
It's so
You'd appreciate it.
I think I'm going to go home and watch it.
Oh, yeah. Fucking Olivia Munn's in that movie, too. Holy shit. Anyways.
She's in it. What's her face from... She was the
redhead you're thinking of, right?
She's the ballerina in this. She wants to be a dancer in Slam and Salmon, but she was in
Two Girls.
with the kid with the Charlie Sheen.
2.5 Men.
That's the one.
Yeah.
She was the really, really, really stupid girlfriend.
Right.
Candy.
Yeah.
She's funny.
Anyways, we're not
you should
talking
watch
about,
it, Dave.
We're not
funny.
talking about Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, but
So-
I mean, I guess it's not too far off if we're talking about a comedy troupe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to keep talking, but do we want to talk anything else?
I
feel bad for Dave now. Do you want to?
I'm curious to see how long you guys can go.
I mean,
crack a couple of beers and some joints. AJ and I'll go for fucking days.
I was gonna say, I mean, we haven't even touched on Saturday Night Live character movies.
I know, and that's the thing. I was gonna bring on that for a second.
Maybe let's go through the Saturday Night Live character movies, and then we'll
start wrapping up here.
Yeah.
Blues Brothers was their first movie, right?
Oh, I don't know if it was their first.
I feel like it was
First
their
Saturday Night Live character movie. I believe it was.
I think it was,
Yeah,
but that opened the doors.
I don't know if that was even Saturday Night Live characters or if that was Dan and John doing their thing, but being allowed to do it on Saturday Night Live. You know what I'm trying to say? Like Wayne's World was Wayne's World,
Right.
The Night at the Roxbury guys, those characters
Were SNL.
Sure. But were the Blues Brothers something that Dan and John did kind of on the side and then brought it to?
See, I don't know. As a fan, I knew Blues Brothers from Saturday Night Live,
Right.
so for me, that's the anchoring point.
But they weren't really even sketches.
No, they
didn't do like putting the blues. Yeah, they did
Yeah.
just musical performances of really great musical performances of blues songs.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily funny.
Yeah, but I
Right.
think considering the path they blazed, I think you have to say they're SNL, right?
SNL characters. Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for that movie, would we have the movies you just mentioned? You know, would we have?
But I even want to find out
Would
if,
we
if
have
Lorne
its
Michaels
path?
had. I want to know if Lorne Michaels had. We can talk about that in a
Yeah.
second. But I want to know if he had anything to do with Blues Brothers because he had everything. He had things to do with all of these other.
He's the Blues Brothers expert, Dave is. I feel like
Not
Lorne
that
was.
style though.
But wasn't
so
he?
I'm Blues Brothers in the sense that I love the music, love the show.
Yeah.
I could not tell you a single word about what Lorne Michaels' involvement was in that as far as SNL.
AJ's fine.
Yeah.
He's using the technology of today. To
I am
find out.
like I said, for me, I never saw that on SNL.
Right, you only
I
saw
the movie and I heard the music.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you, it was just ever a movie, and it's like
a movie and them working together from that
So yeah,
perspective.
we'll call it the first Saturday Night Live movie just because it was a musical sketch
Okay,
that
and
appeared on Saturday. Night.
and Lorne worked on the movie.
Don't. know.
I feel like he would have had to produce
No.
or something.
Produced
no?
by Robert K. Weiss,
Okay.
starring all the wonderful people we know it
Yep.
starred. One of Carrie Fisher's very best performances
Absolutely.
too. Like she's fucking nuts in that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that was at a time where Lorne Michaels was doing that.
Oh, did he leave SNL when Blues Brothers were a thing on SNL? That would be crazy.
I am not sure. This was they were in the 70s.
Yeah, 70s and 80s.
But yeah, I don't think Lorne had much to do with it, dude.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think they were probably just allowed to kind of do it because it was their idea.
Yeah.
Different time, different place.
I don't know if we can consider it an
Different
SNL
contract type stuff. Different,
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was a little less.
Maybe that's
contracty.
why. Maybe
Right.
that's why it is the way it is now. Like if you come up with this character
on
while
that
working
show,
for this
yes.
show,
Yeah.
they own it.
belongs to
Yeah.
Lorne Michaels in some way.
Like comic books or whatever else.
Yeah,
somebody
but
did.
maybe at that point in time, that wasn't even a thought that was something that could happen.
Yeah,
even,
that's true.
Right? Like
Yeah.
it
You didn't
got
think
that
about it.
popular that, hey, let's make a movie
Right.
about these
Uh,
two characters that don't really have characters other than they're blues singers and they're two brothers, and they come on stage with a briefcase.
For sure. What about Ghostbusters?
No.
But
It's not.
No.
wait. Yeah, obviously their characters didn't exist on Saturday Night Live. But how many Saturday Night Live members were involved?
Would
to
they
make that?
exist if not for Saturday Night Live?
Right.
Doubt it.
I don't think it would have happened.
No, but I wouldn't say that's well. Okay, so it's
But I think we're talking. I
because-
think I think we should stick with movies that came from characters because
You're right, because let's
you
be
could-
honest,
you could-
Dan
you
Aykroyd,
could do
Bill
that-
Murray, and Harold
Yeah.
Ramis ran roughshod on the 80s and 90s with all their fucking movies that they were writing.
and they also
you could put them all into SNL
you know
categories, and they're not.
there was Stripes.
Yeah.
Stripes isn't. But if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna sit here and tell me that Anchorman could fall under that, or
Kinda,
Ricky
yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah, I got you.
or-
I got you. Okay.
Right.
All right, okay.
Right.
All right, moving on.
Motherfucker.
All right, move on. Point made. So we agree that Ghostbusters probably wouldn't have happened, but it's definitely not an SNL movie.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Okay.
So yeah, what do we have? We have
Woo,
have that,
okay,
and then I
on
think-
to the next
Next
topic.
one.
Wayne's World, I believe, was their next.
Is that their next big one? Fuck,
Yeah.
holy shit, that's a long time in
I don't.
between.
I'm not sure they did anything with Saturday Night Live characters up
Yeah, I think
until
you're right.
Wayne's World again.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, 92, 93?
91, yeah.
Yeah.
91, 92.
Yeah, something like that. And thank God for Wayne's World, because Queen became Awesome
Relevant again.
yep, which is fantastic.
But yeah, I they had their hits and misses too, right? Like
There's
you
only
just said,
one miss that I know of.
It's Pat.
Yeah, that's the only miss that I know
But
they've had.
and it sucks so much because the character
Julia Sweeney's amazing.
phenomenal.
Amazing. And
And the sketches about It's Pat were fucking hilarious.
Great. And like how great would Pat be today in 2022? You know,
Yeah.
a weirdly
Yeah.
gender fluent character. You don't know, are they male? Are they woman? Who
But
knows?
they didn't really care
Yeah.
it wasn't really addressed, or
Yeah.
they just went about life, avoiding it. Who cares? Like with that who cares attitude.
Yeah.
Who cares if I'm this? I can do this.
And they made a whole fucking movie about it.
Which fell flat.
It felt flat. It wasn't very great.
Sorry, Stuart Saves His Family wasn't really that good either.
Well, yeah.
And again, from a character whose sketch was hilarious.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think the unfortunate piece is though both those characters technically are one note, so it's hard to develop, an hour 40 an hour and a half movie around them.
What came first, Wayne's World or the Coneheads?
Coneheads,
Coneheads came first?
definitely, for sure.
So then that's
right. Oh, the movie though.
Yeah, the movie. Oh, Coneheads, the sketch came first 100%.
I feel like Coneheads still came out
Before Wayne's World,
but I could be wrong.
Or did they do Coneheads because of Wayne's World?
That's a good point.
How did we not talk about Coneheads?
Good point.
Dave?
I've never seen the movie.
You never seen?
Are you serious?
Coneheads?
No.
It's horrible.
Oh,
It's not.
93.
It's not the greatest, but it's pretty funny.
No, that's pretty good.
But I
That's
mean,
pretty good.
it's you've seen the characters though from the original Saturday Night Live sketches.
I think I have, yes. I have no true recollection
you
of
understand the reference.
I do
though.
understand,
Oh.
yes.
So Wayne's World came out in 92 and Coneheads came out in 93.
Okay, so it was
they were
because of the
produced
success.
at the same time. Yeah.
The success of Wayne's World prompted probably
Yeah. Let's
the-
do Coneheads.
Oh, yeah, you start to
release of
sniff around to
Coneheads.
see
Which
if you can
Conehead?
make more.
Yeah, for sure.
the
Coneheads fun. That actually has my favorite, one of my favorite Red Hot Chili Pepper songs on the soundtrack.
movie.
Yeah, Soul to Squeeze.
Oh yeah,
Love that fucking track.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, that movie's fun. It's a
That
good
was a
time.
fun movie. It had all your Chris Farley, a great Chris Farley performance.
Yep.
As the boyfriend.
Yep.
Dan
Yeah,
Aykroyd.
their daughter. Oh my god. Yeah, all
But
of it was
Dan
fantastic.
Aykroyd and Jane Curtin.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can't go wrong with Jane Curtin and certain other actors.
Yeah, for sure.
Certain other comedic actors, like her and Dan Aykroyd, just play off each other brilliantly.
Yeah. No matter who they're playing, they got
Her and John
chemistry.
Lithgow.
Yeah. of
Even
course.
though, again, not a Saturday Night Live. Although I believe he was a frequent
I don't
host, was he not? Or he's been on.
I can think of him hosting once or twice, but I don't remember.
But
I mean,
we
yeah.
could talk about Third Rock from the Sun all day
For
too,
sure. Yeah.
'cause that's a brilliant show.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was a wonderful
Which
There is
show,
a one.
sorry?
Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my god.
David.
I'm aware of it, but I have not watched
God,
it.
man.
Oh, what's your excuse?
But yeah, Coneheads was good. I found
Computers.
one to be somewhat underrated was The Ladies Man.
Yeah, me too.
I
That's
enjoyed that movie.
Me too.
I thought
liked it a
that
lot.
was a fun movie.
Yeah, I also love Tim Meadows though.
I
I think he's fucking amazing.
And the character.
Yeah, the character's
Right?
so silly. I love it. It's this dorky dude who's just so he gets all the women. I love it. It's so good. And then a call-in fucking radio
The
show.
Ladies Man.
The Ladies Man. It's so good. So good.
You on with The Ladies Man.
I love it. Yeah, that was fun. And then obviously Night of the Roxbury.
Yeah. Again, though, that all trying to chase that dragon, like that Wayne's World dragon.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
None of them ever really popped.
Well, and
as
when
big.
when you have like Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan who are comedy juggernauts, and they can't, pull in the same kind of weight as,
Right.
it's interesting.
It's the writing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Like it's.
Well, what made
Or
Wayne's
how long?
World so
Or how
great?
long could you? How long can you play that joke?
Yeah.
I guess it's.
Wayne's World had a lot going for it. Yes, you have the characters that we all know and love, but then there's all the pop culture references, and then there's, the silliness of rewriting scenes and, all that sort of shit
Right.
that kind of keeps you in
that fourth wall break kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like, hey, what if we do the Scooby-Doo ending?
Yeah. And I think it's easier to relate to two guys trying to make a show in their basement versus two guys that are, getting all dolled up to go, pick up women. It's just different.
Because you don't ever really think, I guess, you're not ever really put in the position to think that Wayne and Garth are total fucking idiots.
Right.
Whereas the Watabe brothers or whatever, the Watabe brothers, they're fucking dolts.
Yeah.
And you have
they're
no
idiots.
sympathy for them if
Right.
they get into a certain situation. Whereas Wayne and Garth, they're still relatable.
Yeah.
They're
absolutely.
still likable
very sweet,
characters.
very
so
easy. Yeah. Mhm.
if there is some sort of drama, like if there's any drama between Wayne and Cassandra, you feel for Wayne. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera.
Zhang. Sorry.
You feel for Wayne.
Yeah. of
Right.
course.
You feel for the character. Whereas if Will Ferrell's character in that movie, got run over by a car, you'd be like, oh, yay.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Not the same.
Movie over now. Right?
What
Like,
band's playing tonight at the Gasworks? The Shitty Beatles.
are they any good?
they're shitty.
Not just a clever name then.
Love it. So many great fucking lines.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think anything's really popped off as like I'm trying to think of what like the last Saturday Night Live
I
movie
feel like there's
was.
something. Oh,
They did
Molly Shannon Superstar.
They did Superstar.
That was fucking great. That was a good movie. That
Was
fun.
it though?
I think so. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a little bit
Much
by numbers.
for that long?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they fleshed her out.
Like again, the characters, right? Like,
Yeah.
is that character a little bit much for that long?
I feel
guess
like
is the
her,
question.
no, but all the side characters, yes. Like there was nothing.
Will Ferrell was in that too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he played like the jerky,
the stupid, goofy
Yeah.
Chad type
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
I don't know what his name was.
but
Is that
everybody
the
else-
armpit one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she was great, but everybody else kind of fell a little flat in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that was
Meh.
the last big explosion.
I wish there could be more. Thinking about it, I wish there could be more that we could, appreciate
Glean
in regards to Saturday Night Live. Like I'm
Well, that's why
gonna
they don't
go-
happen all the time like they used to. Not really ever. I can't think of any other SNL movies that I care about.
We got Coneheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think MacGruber.
Oh yeah. That was actually
that was
pretty big. That was fun.
okay.
That was fun.
There was
Best
some
bit
pretty
about that-
awkward fucking shits going on in that
Best
movie.
bit
but-
about that. Well, I mean, the sex scene's fucking hilarious.
MacGruber.
But aside from the sex scene, is the bit where they bring in all these wrestlers as like military, whatever, and they're all coming in doing the hard shot, walking like whatever, and then they fucking die in the first scene. I love it.
That's one of my favorite parts, though, because and then the van just blows
That's
up.
just gone.
Everybody in the van dies. Fuck! Fuck!
I feel like Deadpool 2 did their scene because of that scene. You get the giant team together, everybody's ready to go, and then they fucking all die. It's like, oh fuck, that just did not work out the way I wanted it to.
That's such Kristen Wiig can
She's the best.
like. say what you will about the Ghostbusters movie with the ladies there.
I could say lots about it.
But the actresses that were in that movie
amazing.
Were the only good thing about the movie, really. Like the story itself was shit.
Yeah, it was garbage.
The idea behind the movie was crap.
Stupid.
But the performances
were fantastic
by that group of women, like Kristen Wiig's hilarious, Melissa McCarthy, and fucking
Leslie Jones,
love her so much. Kate McKinnon,
yeah.
Even fucking Thor,
was
Chris
great.
Hemsworth,
yeah.
Like,
a little bit one note, but he was good.
Amazing performance. I think that was the point.
I think so too. So.
It
was fun.
Yeah, like the performances were fun. I wish it had been about something else.
Yeah, anything.
Like
else.
I wish they'd gotten this group of people together for a different story.
Right.
Like that would have worked much better.
Yeah, all comedian juggernauts. Yeah.
Dave's getting tired and bored. We should probably wrap this
up. Sorry, I didn't mean to yawn.
That's okay. It's time. Sorry, Dave. Next time.
I just don't have the expertise.
Do more research next time.
Hey, as I said at the start, I try to do research.
That's true.
Well, we apologize, Dave.
Well, that's fine. You guys got to chit chat. It was good.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to talk about what is the differences between PHP, Node.js, and which would you prefer to execute on for your next service project?
Fuck, I got to research now then.
No, see, here's the deal, Dave. Here's the deal. You have to have at least one other person in the room that can have the conversation with you.
I know what? I will see who I got a few coworkers in which we can have a good discussion.
Let's talk about what the difference between .com, .org, and .ca is.
There you go.
Let's start there, and then we'll see where we go with it.
Lord. And you out there, are you a fan of Saturday Night Live? Do you like some of the sketches we talked about? Do you like the actors talked about? How about the movies? We want to hear from you, so please share your love or hate or whatever communication about Saturday Night Live with us in our comments, and just keep the conversation going about this fun sketch comedy stuff that we love so much. If you like what we're doing, we got ourselves a little Buy Me a Coffee link. You can throw us some money there to help keep the lights on and all the other stuff that we need to keep doing this podcast. And if you're out there and you're feeling, a little unwell in the mental department, just so you know, you are not alone, and you matter, not just to us, but to those who are around you. So if you need to talk about what's going on, we're going to have some links in our description for you to look up to find any of the help you might need. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
I'm David, and I'm still here.
I've been AJ, I must say. Party on, Chris.
Party on, AJ.
Sarcastic Distractions.
That was well
And thanks so much for getting distracted with us. Have yourselves an awesome evening. Peace.
Hey, Carol.
Bye now.